Tonight, we continue with our I-Team report following revelations years ago that exposed a pattern of abuse by private companies that were transporting prisoners. Congress demanded action, and the nation's top law enforcement official promised they would investigate. But our team found that promise was broken and the abuse continued. We warn you again tonight. This report discusses sexual violence. And as a note, you should know KARE 11 does not identify sexual assault victims without their permission. Here's AJ with the latest findings in his investigation, Nowhere to Turn.
In federal court records, she's listed by her initials, DD.
I've never said anything to anyone.
Those records spell out what Dabrielle Dixon has never spoken about publicly until now.
The stress from it, the traumatizing of it.
A violent sexual assault in a rest stop bathroom.
The hurt from it is just building up when you don't have nobody to talk to.
Her accused rapist, Marquette Johnson, a guard for Inmate Services Corporation. ISC is a private company paid tax dollars to transport prisoners across the country. KARE's investigation has to date tied just that one company and its guards to 21 sex assault allegations, where there's already been a lawsuit, criminal charges, or conviction.
It's horrifying, but not surprising, and it shows a real need for additional investigation and action to protect people who are being transported between jails and prisons.
Rita Lomeo is a former trial attorney for the United States Department of Justice. She's now with the Prison Law Office and says the current oversight and regulation of the private prisoner transport industry has long been known to be inadequate. It routinely fails to protect people like Jennifer Seelig, extradited from Washington to Minnesota on a DWI warrant, raped by a guard in a bathroom stall.
It just destroyed me. It ripped me apart.
People like Danielle Civils, who also says while on the way to Minnesota, her transport guard raped her.
Just because we're inmates doesn't mean we're not people.
People like Dabrielle, extradited in 2019 from Chicago to Des Moines for writing bad checks.
I didn't fight back because, like I said, I'm handcuffed. I'm in the bathroom. I'm far from home. So I just did it.
The United States Department of Justice has and is prosecuting those women's accused rapists. However, our investigation finds it's the DOJ's own broken promise and Congress's distraction that's allowed dozens of sexual assaults and countless other abuses to continue unchecked.
These private transport companies operate with virtually no oversight.
It's June of 2016 in the nation's capital. Lawmakers seem outraged.
But we're not talking about pallets of laundry detergent. We're talking about human beings. We're talking about American citizens.
They're responding to a blistering piece of investigative journalism by the Marshall Project, which laid bare the private prisoner transport industry's pattern of cruelty, abuse, and death.
I'm not familiar with the situation that you've encountered, but I am happy to review that.
Attorney General Loretta Lynch vows to investigate and report back.
We would very much require that.
It's been more than 7 years.
To your knowledge, did that ever happen?
I'm not aware of any report or any investigation that was conducted.
DOJ can provide no evidence that it ever did that investigation. Congress certainly passed no laws to increase oversight.
Nobody's looking.
Nobody's looking.
Nobody's looking. And we have to look.
Julia Bade is a former deputy chief in the DOJ's Civil Rights Division who helped draft the Prison Rape Elimination Act standards. She says if something is not done, the systemic pattern of prisoner transport rapes our investigation exposed will continue.
This is exactly what we need Congress to step up and do to fix this problem, to protect the people who are in our custody that are being abused by people who hold ultimate power over them. It's time to act.
Act before there's another Dabrielle.
Because I don't want that to happen to nobody else.
Or Jennifer.
It literally destroyed me.
Or Danielle.
Because if it was your mother or your child or your sister, you would care. And we are somebody's mother, we are someone's child, we are someone's sister.
And Jana, now is the big question. Is there a member of Congress, is there a senator, is there high-ranking people in the Department of Justice who actually care and are willing to step up and fix this?
That was my question, as I try to censor myself from saying something that will get me kicked off television, the frustration you feel for those women and the frustration you feel that there was a promise in 2016 makes you think of, do any promises matter? And was there any legislation ever even talked about back then? Anyone?
Nothing. You had the U.S. Attorney said, we're going to investigate. You know, in fairness, 6 months later, she's no longer the Attorney General, and doesn't sound like either administration since then has done anything.
You know, one of the things that one of the victims said, you just stopped me. Just because we're inmates doesn't mean we're not people. And I think that's what I want every member of Congress and senator to think about.
Yeah.
What she said.
Not a single person we interviewed denies that they did something wrong that led to them being locked up, but you don't pay for being locked up by being raped.
Absolutely.
That's it. End stop.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we'll call on those members of Congress and Senate. Hopefully they'll get wind of this and do their job. Thanks so much, AJ.
Yeah.
If you have experienced sexual violence, you can get some help. You can go to the Minnesota Coalition Against Sexual Assault's website. That's mncasa.org, and you can click on the Find Help tab for a list of resources. We'll be right back.